Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. I always feel like it's dipping towards that way. Hold on. Scotty, you're not. This is the Smallville Retrospective. We're looking at season 5, episode 11. Lockdown. And we're not talking about TNA and the Lethal Lockdown. No Kurt Angles, no Stings, no Kevin Nash, no Jeff Jarrett here. Because it's my world now. And we're talking about this episode. I think it's a decent episode. I think it's. Oh, we're creeping up on the 100th episode. Where I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I cried my ass off at Superman and Lois finale. I want to talk about that. It means I have to rewatch the episode again, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this either, and this was almost 20 years ago. Yeah. In this episode, and it actually happens pretty quick, Lex gets put in lockdown after 2 disgruntled police officers attack him wanting to know about the spaceship. Meanwhile, Clark and Lana's relationship hits a little bumples when when he keeps pushing her away due to her powers. And Chloe is also there. Oh, also in the C plot, Jonathan learns about the money that was taken for his campaign. Yeah. When it was focused on the Lex and Lana stuff and a little bit of the Clark stuff, it worked. We kept going back to this whole thing with Jonathan, and it was like, yeah, okay, I know we have to address this, but I guess I'll talk about it when we get to the next episode. Because I felt like it would be a bigger shock if he learned then where the money was coming from. But I guess you have to address it at some point. But so we start with Lex in his office, talking to his campaign manager, or should I say ex-campaign manager, because the 2 cops come in and they said, Luther, we need to talk to you about something, and you need to come with us or something. And like, how come security didn't tell me you were here? No one ever says when Clark is there. At least we don't see that, at least I don't. And that's when these 2 cops, so he kills the campaign manager, and Lex locks himself, pardon me, inside a panic room, basically. And he said he set this up and built it after what happened in the episode with the nuclear bomb. So he can withstand a nuclear bomb, so he's safe in there. Meanwhile, Clark and Lana are studying, which she didn't actually want to study. She wanted sexy times. And he is actually studying. And I love the line when she's like, Clark, kiss me. And he kisses her. She's like, what am I, your cousin? And I'm like, no, she's frozen somewhere underwater. Literally, that's the explanation they have. Because, the storyline with Supergirl is that she actually came to Earth first. But something happened. Here, she's stuck in an ice block underneath water or something. And in Supergirl, she got stuck in a phantom zone for all that time. So, yeah. I kind of wish they would have done a Supergirl spin-off from this. Be interesting. I do like the Supergirl show we got, but I'm just saying. So then Lana confronts him. They do kiss more, and as things start to heat up, he pulls back again, and she confronts him about it. Why do you keep doing that? We haven't, in a while, and, which was kind of the same conversation I had in the last one, but like, And then she goes to leave and she drops her notebook that has the stuff about the spaceship, and he confronts her about that. She said, "Why don't you tell me the truth?" And I went, "Hello, pot. I'm the kettle. You're black. Hello?" Oh, hello, kettle. I'm pot. You're black. The whole conversation just had is that he's withholding something, and now he's confronting her about not telling him the truth. So, she takes off, and as she's driving, she gets pulled over by the cops. She's talking on a earphone thing. They had that in 2005? That's been out in 2006. Not exactly certain the air date. They had that back then? Interesting. She's doing that. And I guess they did. I remember. They also had those chirp walkie-talkie things on some phones. My friend had that. It was annoying. Every time you go to talk. He had that. I didn't. For obvious reasons. But she gets taken to the Lex mansion and hey, look, we got your little girly friend here. So come on out or we'll kill her. So he comes out. He shoots this device thing. And then they run in, but Lex gets shot. And so he's laying there pretty much dying. And then it comes across that Chloe gets a phone call saying they found Lana's car on the side of the road. They just left it there. I know that their inhibitions are a little bit lowered right now. Look at what they're doing. They're not thinking straight. But that is... No. You take it, you bring it to the mansion, you hide it in the bushes so no one finds it. He's got a lot of bushes on that property. You just leave it there so they can find it. Okay, sure. And because Lex shot that device, it sends out an alarm, which alerts the police there. But of course, the police officer that answers is the female cop that's with the former disgruntled cop. Yeah. Apparently, his story is that he was there the day that the spaceship landed. And he knows about the spaceship, and he also knows that Lana was there. Which is why he had her get grabbed. How they knew where she was? Oh, they have a tracking device on her car. So, at some point, they went to somewhere, knew wherever or the college campus where she's living in Metropolis, planted it there, I guess. Clark arrives. We get a Mr. Kent for the last time, unfortunately. I like the character. I got used to her. Mr. Kent, what did you do? Fall out of the sky? Mr. Kent, what'd you do? Fall out of the sky? That's how she says that. Oh. But, because then she personally checks out what's going on in the mansion. And the other officer's like, I told you everything was clear. She goes, we need to check it out more. You know the protocol. Isn't that what you do? And then she sees the disgruntled guy. I don't remember his name. And then the female one shoots her in the back. And we get a big exclamation. I think it's later, actually. Lana finally confesses to... Lex finally confesses to Lana that the ship is gone. He doesn't know what happened to it. He hadn't told her up until now. He now tells her. So she cuts a deal that to take him to the hospital, to get him some medical help, she will tell them where the ship is, but he's got to go first. And no, you're showing us first, and then we'll do it. So they leave him at the mansion and take her to the warehouse. Really? This is where we find out that the female cop is his fiancée. But she wasn't fired, even though she believes him. But she wasn't fired for what happened. I mean, we're led to believe that he was fired because of the way he says, police officer, was, or used to be, or something like that. I don't know anymore. I do not know anymore. He plans to blow up this place. It won't destroy the ship, but it will draw attention, and they'll get the ship, and that's when they'll find the ship. Here's one little problem, other than that it's not there. How do you know that blowing it up won't activate something? Right? Like a protocol within the ship that will render it invisible or cause it to fly away from the building so it's not destroyed. I'm just saying. Well, then there's a scuffle when Lana decides to fight Beck. And this made me roll my eyes because of how stupid it is. She punches she's fighting with him. She ends up knocking this case out of his hand. It hits the ground and activates. That's not how that works. Because it hits the ground, opens, and then activates. As if there was some kind of, like, triggering device when you opened it. But that's never explained. He just drops it, it opens, and activates. And he tries to stop it, and she pulls him away. And they leave Lana there. I know they're supposed to be the bad guys in this thing. But they get away too, don't they? But to leave her there makes no sense to me. It doesn't. Like, why would they want her to die? I mean, I guess she's a witness. But so is Laxton. For all I know, he could have survived and told them who it was. Say. But Clark arrives and runs through the explosion to save her and bring her outside. And, yeah. And she wakes up and she's like, Clark, what happened? He goes, I don't know. I found you outside. And, you know, that's smart. You could have elaborated. I don't know. Lex told me where to find you. I got here and you were laying outside. I guess the cops must have saved you, but decided not to take you with them. That kind of makes sense. We kind of worded it differently than I did, but like, it was an accident to go off, you know. But yeah. Like I said, there is that, I haven't touched on it yet, but Lois starts talking about all the stuff that she's doing, and Jonathan starts to wonder, where do you get the money from? And then that's what she has to say is from Lionel Luthor, and then he has a talk with Martha where she reveals that it was me that took it, not her. And I like how Lois apologized later. She's like, Lois. He knows. I know. And he sold the back 40 acres, I'm guessing is what it is. Back 40 acres of land that he's had, that he, you know, was only keeping because of pride. And so he sold it, and I guess it's like half of the money that he owes Lionel. Not that it matters, but yeah. And Clark comes to the hospital just in time to see Lana and Lex hugging because she's talking to him, and they apologize to each other, and he says that whatever we do, 50-50 from now on, partners. She goes, no, let's try being friends. And then Clark sees them hug, and then next scene cuts to him bitching about it. Come on, Lex is a liar. And I'm like, yeah, but he protected her, he saved her life. Hello, McFly, anybody home? I'm not talking to you. Stupid freeway. But yeah, and then the episode ends with, conclusion that maybe you need to tell her the truth, which will lead into the next episode. And like I said, I'm not ready. I've been preparing for this since I started rewatching this, going through this on the channel, and I'm just not ready. Oh man, 100th episode. I'm not ready. I'm just not. And I don't know if I'm going further than that, because, well, I'll explain it in the video. Every time I go through, something hits me. I just want to... Yeah. Hey, Lois wasn't that big of a problem for me in this episode, I'll tell you. But, Yeah. Oh, and if you're wondering why it took so long between the last one and this one, well, at least okay. So Lexmas took a long time to upload, and then I guess it's not that long when you think about it, because it took so long for Lexmas to upload, and then the next one uploaded pretty quickly. I don't know what took Lexmas so much, and now it's this one. So I guess it's not that big of a for because you didn't know that Lexmas was uploading, so it took a while to upload. But yeah, I wanted to have this more. I don't know if I'm going past this disc, but we'll see. This is disc 4 already, right? 3. Now I gotta look. Yes, you see, I have it this stacked here now. It's not empty anymore. 3, which means I have 3 discs left after this. Because I'm halfway through the season, And the way I do this is I want to watch the episodes, but I also want to watch the podcast afterwards. So I'm trying to keep enough time for this and enough time for the podcast. So here's what I'll do. After Reckoning, which is the next episode, I'll watch the podcast episodes and I'll see where I am. I'll see where I am after that, and I may do a couple more. We'll see. But I want to kind of get through those. So, what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me comment so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'm still not ready. But here we go. I'll see you in the next one.